I told you. 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 I told you.
Victims and survivors of the Uvalde school shooting are headed to court. 2 new lawsuits have been filed, including one seeking $27 billion in damages.
Parents, children, school personnel, and survivors filed the suit against the city, law enforcement, the school district, the gun manufacturer, and the gun seller.
Now here's what they didn't tell you. This isn't a lawsuit brought by Sandar Torres. This is a lawsuit brought by the anti-gun group Everytown. The same Everytown that was funded and founded by Mike Bloomberg. The same Mike Bloomberg who said this: if you want to have a gun in your house, I think you're pretty stupid. This lawsuit has nothing to do with those children. This lawsuit isn't even about how the police responded. You can tell exactly what this lawsuit is about just by looking at how Everytown ordered the parties to the suit in their press release. Sandra Torres, mother of Uvalde shooting victim Eliana Torres, sues gun manufacturer Daniel Defense, gun shop Oasis Outback, and then state and local law enforcement for roles in Robb Elementary School mass shooting. This lawsuit is purely about using the civil court of law to bankrupt the gun industry, and here's how they're doing it. In 2005, Congress passed a federal law called PLACA, or Protection of Lawful Commerce in Arms Act. They passed this law because the anti-gun lobby kept filing lawsuits against gun companies when their gun was used in a shooting. They weren't trying to actually win the cases. They were just trying to keep the gun companies wrapped up in lawsuits in order to bankrupt them. PLACA stopped this practice. After PLACA, the anti-gun lobby could no longer sue a gun company simply because their gun was used in a crime. Then Newtown happened. The lawyers from Newtown found a way around this federal law called PLACA. Instead of saying they're suing the gun companies because their gun was used, they're now saying that the gun companies' marketing made the shooter go out and buy their gun and then commit the shooting. Yes, I know how ridiculous this sounds, but remember, the goal is not to actually win the case. It's to keep the gun companies fighting lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit. The judge in the Newtown case literally said, y'all don't stand a chance at winning, but because the reason for the suit wasn't simply because the company's gun was used, but instead was because you claim the company broke some local marketing law, the judge allowed it. 2 years ago, I did a video about this saying that this is a very dangerous precedent because now anytime there is a shooting, the anti-gun lobby is going to use the same tactic to sue other gun companies.
In addition, it will certainly embolden others to bring similar litigation. All states of the union have laws regarding consumer protection and advertising, and the laws in many of those states may not be appropriate for this kind of litigation, but it certainly will encourage others interested in bringing such suits to do so.
Anyone want to take a guess what the argument for suing Daniel Defense in this suit is?
And Stephen, we know the lawsuits also name the gun manufacturer, right? Have we heard from them about these suits?
Yeah, lawyers claim marketing tactics by Daniel Defense were negligent with militaristic imaging, product placement in combat video games, and social media. NBC News did reach out to Daniel Defense, but have also not heard back. But over the summer, the CEO called the shooting, quote, pure evil, but said mass shootings in America are local problems to be solved locally.
I told you, this is not about winning the actual case. It's a tactic to get around the federal law that protects gun companies from these types of frivolous lawsuits. Now, the death of those children were not frivolous, but blaming their deaths on the company who simply made the gun used in this case is exceedingly frivolous. No one sues the car manufacturer if the car was involved in a drunk driving fatality. Hell, more people are stabbed to death than they are killed by an AR-15, but no one sues the knife company for stabbings. Too many people get wrapped up in whether this case can win or lose. That doesn't matter. What matters is that this case can be brought in the first place. Yes, gun companies have lawyers, but if you're getting bombarded by case after case after case, you'll have to make a decision at some point. You're either gonna go broke trying to fight every single case, or you'll have to settle so many cases, your insurance companies stop insuring gun companies. And trust me, a gun company can't run without insurance. Speaking of insurance, do you have concealed carry insurance? If you ever are in a self-defense shooting, you may beat the criminal case, but do you have the money to deal with the possible civil case that may be filed against you? A lot of people don't think about this. Hell, most people wouldn't even know what lawyer to call to help them defend themselves. This is why I'm always talking about how important it is to become a member of an organization like USCCA. When you become a member of USCCA, you not only get access to the crazy amounts of information about concealed carry laws and training and just the overall concealed carry lifestyle, you'll also get access to concealed carry insurance provided through your membership. If you want to learn more, hit the link in my description section, because the last thing you need to think about after defending your life is how am I going to fight and pay for the potential legal cases afterwards. You know, we talk a lot about empowerment in this country, except for when it comes to the Second Amendment. However, I can't think of anything more empowering than having the most effective tool to protect you and your family. So help me spread this message by liking and sharing this video with everyone you know. And don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment, because the Second Amendment, when it said militia, it wasn't talking about the government. It was talking about you. Also, if you want to know where to find the I'm the Militia shirt and merchandise, click the I'm the Militia link in the description section of this video. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And most importantly, make sure you hit that bell symbol.